If you click this video because of the title, then check the timestamps in the description below. As you know, the space is very new and very experimental, so there's so many new things to test out. And currently, I've been spending my time writing ZK apps with Mina. I learned how to write a ZK app during their Builders program, which just concluded. And right now, I am doing this competition that I committed to today, December 10th, where you have to build a ZK app, and the deadline is December 16th. So I will explain more about ZK apps as we go, but really and truly, I'm trying to make this deadline. Either way, ZK stands for Zero Knowledge Proofs, and we're using ZK technology within blockchain to allow things for like private inputs and private transactions. Let's jump to it. I have this document here with ideas. Maybe I won't walk through all of them for this video. The way I thought about the idea was with various properties. I'm like, what is a private input? What is the data required? Which industry does this, fall into? What are some questions I have about even the idea and the solution? What are some issues I can run into? And then what's the impact and use cases? Another idea that I had was a private voting system. And the industry that this would impact would be like DAOs and even government elections. What would be the private input in this case? Because of course we're using a ZK app because we want an application that requires private input. And I think your vote should be private. No one should know who you voted for, and maybe even your identity. You don't want people to know that you voted or who you're voting for. So I thought that could be the private input. And the impact would be that we have more truthful votes and hopefully more people are willing to vote. So these are a few that I came up with. I had a private rating system, private message board, and even ownership proof. I think I'm leaning to solve this one. And just to explain what I want to do with this, I want you to prove that you own an item without saying who you are and which item you own. And the reason why I find this to be important is because right now, if you have items on the blockchain, right, and an item on the blockchain can represent something in the real world as well. So this does not only mean I'm speaking about your digital property. So what if you had an NFT that represents your house in the real world? And this NFT is a part of a collection of all the people who own houses within a particular area. But because this address is linked to your house, you probably have other transactions associated with this address. So maybe there's another service that allows you to get a lower insurance if you have a house in a particular area. Now, you don't want them to exactly know which house you own, therefore, and also how much money you have, how much money you've been transacting. You just want to prove that, yes, I have a house there. So what would be private here? Like, you would prove that you are a part of this collection, but you don't exactly know, or the application doesn't exactly know who you are or which item you own. So in this case, your input would be your blockchain address. So let's say we tailor it for the Ethereum blockchain, where we know there are already a lot of people digitizing their assets on there. Let's say you supply your ETH blockchain address, and that is your private input. So no one knows who is this person on the Ethereum blockchain. All we know is that this user is authenticating that they own a CryptoPunk, for example. That would be your private input. The industries that this can impact is access control, just giving you access to particular things based on some truth. And the truth is you are an owner of something. The use cases I thought of immediately, because I'm a content creator, is a Web 2.5 Patreon. So let's say, for example, you own an NFT, which gives you access to like news monthly, or perks or discounts monthly. Or let's say you even own a subscription, which gives you access to receiving a file monthly, a newsletter monthly, trading tips monthly. Then you may not want the platform to know exactly who you are. You just want them to know that you are an owner so you can receive it, especially if you're going to then enter your email address. If you're entering your email address and your crypto address, now we know who you are. Now we know that Alicia, hi@alicia.tech is now associated with this address. You're labeled, and most people want to keep their financial transactions more on the private side. So that is what I thought. And the second reason why I thought it would be good to start with this project first is because my other idea is like, let's say a private message board, a private rating system. The way that I conceptualize the idea is that you do have to prove that you own something, to prove that you can vote, or to prove that you can rate a product. Let's say you purchase a product and you want to give a rating for it. Well, you have to prove that you purchased the product. So I thought starting with the ownership proof would be a good place to start. And then depending on how these 6 days go, because as you know, the deadline is December 16th, I can then, I can then build upon it. So this is Mina. They are a blockchain. which uses ZK technology to do things such as allow you to have private inputs for proofs, as well as keep the blockchain size down to 22 kilobytes. I signed up here a few weeks ago, but I just didn't have time to, actually commit to it. But this is what it is. So they have prizes, and they had a simple prize where if you even just complete a tutorial, you got 50 Mina, which is quite decent. And then there are top prizes, 3 top prizes, 20K, 12K, and 8K Mina. And then all high quality apps will be eligible to receive 5K Mina. So I'm hoping that for the very minimum, I can receive this. But of course, I'm aiming for free prize because, of course, that's what we do over here. Well, is it? Yeah, anyway.